everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't care about updates and that kind of business, just skip to the indicated time below and you can get to why you clicked on this video in the first place. But to all my loyal viewers out there, I know you were probably expecting the long ship to come out this week, and I just want to offer everyone a big mea culpa because it's not going to be done this week. It's not going to be done for a little bit. I'm sorry. There's two good reasons why I don't have it done. Number one, I actually got sick again last week. I thought I was done, and then of course I got round two, and it was awful. And I had to proctor midterms while being horribly ill, and I was sitting there, feeling physically as bad as my students did mentally, I'm sure, during the midterm. But anyway, the second reason that I have not yet finished the long ship is that I'm using oil paints to do the wood grain pattern. If you watched my video about the Fokker not Eindecker, the dry decker, actually, not Ein, but dry. If you watch that video, then you'll see I do the wood grain pattern, and it takes a long time for those oil paints to actually dry. And it's actually also been unseasonably wet in northern Nevada these past few weeks, and so the humidity is up, and the temperature is down, and so those oils aren't curing nearly as fast as I'm used to them curing. So if it were summertime, then my goodness, it'd probably be like 2 days and they'd be done. But now it's probably going to be more like 2 weeks. So there is that. I've got some other projects in the works, so you don't have to keep sitting through these darn review videos and all that. But just keep tuned, and the Viking longship, it'll be coming. I promise. I promise it's coming. So there we go. With all that said, with all of those updates, now we can get to the reason you actually clicked on this video, and that is, of course, the Pirate Pig of the South Pacific. No, not that one. This one, right? Here it is. The Vought F4U1D Corsair. So, I've always thought the Corsair was absolutely stupid looking. Like, just plain ugly. And you may be wondering then why I've taken the time to build two of them. And I would actually honestly probably do quite a few more. Well, I'll tell you, there's a beauty in the goofiness of this plane. And I'm sure that the 2,000 Japanese pilots shot down by the Corsairs weren't particularly concerned with the plane's aesthetics. I mean, maybe if they survived the experience, they may have wondered how the bastard child of a seagull in a paper towel tube flying upside down had managed to shoot down one of those beautiful Japanese birds. Well, I'll tell you how they did it. The beauty is in the utility and practicality. So the reason for that long, dumb-looking cylinder of a fuselage is the fact that this plane had a massive Pratt & Whitney R2800 double Wasp, which developed over 2,000 horsepower. There's a reason the pilots referred to the Corsair as the Hog. And the reason for those inverted gull wings that look so stupid is that the engineers fitted it with a huge, nearly 14-foot propeller so they could convert all that horsepower to speed. The propeller was so big that the engineers would either have to weaken the landing gear by making them longer or bending the wings down. Otherwise, there was the distinct danger that the propeller would actually hit the deck as it was taking off and landing, which I'm pretty sure isn't optimal. Now, add to the incredible performance characteristics 2 trios, that's 6 50 caliber machine guns, and you've got yourself one deadly fighter. And at that point, who cares if the thing looks pretty? As for the kit, what can I say? Tamiya did a really good job. There was almost no flash, and the fit was pretty near perfect. I really appreciated all of the built-in detail, especially in the wings and the cockpit. The cool thing is that despite the fine detail, the kit is actually really sturdy, and I didn't feel like I had to be overly delicate with it. The instructions were also very clear and easy to follow. There are 3 options for decals, one for Major Gregory Boyington, who I'm pretty sure was affectionately known as Pappy Boyington. There might have been another Boyington in World War II that I'm mixing him up with, but I think that's right. Another was an anonymous one, but part of VMF 111, the Devil Dogs. Can you tell that's a Marine squadron? Well, of course, the M in VMF means Marines. And finally, an option for Lieutenant Ira C. Kepford of the famous VF-17 Jolly Rogers. I chose this option because I actually happened to purchase Tom Blackburn's book where he recounts his exploits as leader of that squadron. It's titled Jolly Rogers, and it's not a bad read. You can get a used copy for like $5-10. It has plenty of exciting bits, but the one that sticks out in my mind is that he liked to make sure his pilots could properly relax, which I suppose meant keeping them stocked with booze. Well, apparently they had run out, but several Corsairs had to do a run back to the main base where there would be alcohol, and they also would apparently be traveling without ammunition. Now, someone happened to notice that the ammo bays in the wings were about the right size to fit beer cans, so they loaded up their ammo cans with beer, flew back at high altitude to cool them down, and when they landed, they popped open their wings and tossed a frosty brew to the surprised ground crew. Anyway, whichever options you choose for the decals, they all have the same basic paint scheme with dark blue, light blue, and white. As a minor point of interest, I decided to especially purchase some Mr. Hobby lacquer paints for this model because I wanted to try them out. I really liked the result. They have good accurate color, they're very fine and have great coverage, but they also smell horrible, and they were a pain to clean up. Still, I think they were worth it, and if I do another plane that has the 2 blue and white pattern, I'll definitely use them again. Overall, this was a really fun kit. It was a great build. I had a wonderful time with it. It's really well detailed. I really like it. Even if it is a silly looking airplane, it gets my wholehearted recommendation. By the way, if you want to read a really good article about the Corsairs, the Warfare History Network did a nice piece on it, and I'll put a link down in the description. With that said, I wish you all a fond farewell. I wish you joy in your lives, and I hope to see you again soon.